Hello everyone, today's lecture is on phagocytosis. From our last lecture on acute inflammation, we know that our heroes, leukocytes, have come out of the blood vessel in front of offending agent. Now they are in the battlefield. Now the story is what they'll do to our foreign body or microbe is nothing but phagocytosis. Before going to phagocytosis per se, we need to know something about leukocyte activation. Once microbes are recognized or dead cells are recognized, what happens? There are several response takes place in the leukocyte. It is termed as leukocyte activation. Once the leukocytes are activated, there is increased cytosolic calcium. So when there is increased cytosolic calcium in the leukocyte, various enzymes are liberated. These enzymes are protein kinase C, phospholipase A2. This functional response are most important for destruction of microbes. Now let's go to the phagocytosis proper. In phagocytosis, there are three steps: recognition and attachment of the particle to the leukocyte. Okay. Then engulfment, where there is formation of phagocytic vacuole. Then killing and degradation of the ingested material. We'll see each steps in detail. First step is recognition. So how our body recognize something is not proper, something is dead cell, something is foreign body. So that is because of various receptors on these phagocytic cells or on the macrophage or on the leukocytes. They have got certain receptors which will tell or which will recognize something is not our own. Those receptors are mannose receptors, scavenger receptors, MAC1 receptors. We'll see each receptors in detail. So, my question is, our body has got the receptor which will recognize the foreign body. Why not it will go and attach the host cell itself? That is because, see, this is a macrophage which has got mannose receptor. That will go and bind to the microbe because they have got mannose and fructose terminal units or terminal residues. So this mannose receptor can bind only to this. Why can't it bind to host cell? Because mammals or a human, they contain terminal sialic acid or N-acetyl galactosamine residue. So this mannose cannot bind to host cell. They can only bind to microbe cell wall because they got mannose and fructose residue. Okay, this is the step of recognition. Similarly, scavenger receptor. So we know that LDL, low density lipoprotein, are absorbed by LDL receptor. But whatever LDL is remaining, that is scavenged by or taken up by scavenger receptor. So apart from LDL, it will also take up the microbes. It will also bind to the microbes along with mannose receptor. Similarly, macrophage integrins, mainly MAC1, may also bind to macrophage, may also bind to microbes. So, we can increase the efficacy or our body increases the efficacy of this phagocytosis when microbes are opsonized by specific protein. See, a microbe is there. It is recognized by a phagocytic cell. But phagocyte can easily recognize this, or there is increase in affinity. How can you achieve this? When this microbe is surrounded by a protein known as opsonin. Okay, that time the phagocytic cell efficacy or phagocytic efficacy is increased. So let me give you a small example. Opsonin, you think it as French fries dipped in ketchup. It tastes better than just a French fries. So similar way, our phagocytic cell will find it yummy when the microbes are surrounded by opsonin. Okay, What are these opsonins now? Opsonins are a certain specific proteins. They can be IgG antibody, they can be C3 breakdown products of complement, or certain plasma lectins. This is about the first step of recognition and attachment. Next, coming to the engulfment step. So after binding of the receptors, there is extension of the cytoplasm of the phagocyte. This is known as pseudopode. So this cytoplasm is extended like this. This is termed as pseudopodes. Now what will happen? The plasma membrane is pinched off. It is taken inside, pinched off to form a vesicle known as phagosome. Okay, and this will bind to lysosome inside the cell to form phagolysosome. Then there is discharge of lysosomal granules for destruction. This is the step of engulfment, where there is formation of pseudopode, where there is formation of phagosome and binding of phagosome to lysosome termed as phagolysosome. Now coming to the last step, that is intracellular destruction of microbes and debris. This is accomplished by reactive oxygen species, nitric oxide or reactive nitrogen from that, and lysosomal enzyme. This is the final step of elimination. But you have to remember here, the killing and degradation occurs within the neutrophil and macrophages, which may occur most effectively or efficiently after the activation of phagocytes. All these killing mechanisms are normally sequestered in the lysosome, to which phagocytosed material are brought. So whatever takes place will occur in the lysosome itself. Why? Because they potentially are the harmful substances. They may segregate, they may destroy this cell wall or the nucleus. To prevent that or destruction of our own phagocytic cell, whatever the destruction and intracellular degradation takes place, that takes place inside the lysosome itself. Now, leukocyte-mediated tissue injury. This can take place under several circumstances. Let me give you one more example here. Your cell phone is snatched by a thief carrying a knife. So what you will do? You are strong enough. You will go and try to snatch it back. In that process, you get hurt because he carries knife. Similar way, even though leukocyte is a host defense mechanism cell, still in the process of destroying the microbes, our own host tissue might get damaged. What are those circumstances? Suppose if you take example of tuberculosis, it is a prolonged process. It is a chronic inflammatory process. In case of prolonged fighting, our adjacent cell might get damaged. Similarly, in case of harmful environmental allergic substances, in case of asthma, or in case of autoimmune diseases. In all these circumstances, leukocytes that are activated, their effective mechanism do not distinguish the offender and the host. So leukocyte get confused which is the host cell and which is the offender or which is the microbe. Apart from host defense mechanism, the leukocyte carries other functions also. So they produce certain cytokines which help in limit or amplifying the inflammatory reaction. They also produce growth factors which help in proliferation of endothelial cells of fibroblast and synthesis of collagen and enzymes. Hence, these are critical cells of chronic inflammation and their repair after the inflammation has subsided. Hence, they are useful in tissue repair in case of prolonged inflammatory condition. How the termination of acute inflammation occurs. One is offending agents are removed, the stimulus for inflammation come to an end. And also neutrophil has got short half-life. So again the termination occurs. And one more thing, because of anti-inflammatory cytokines like tumor growth factor beta, interleukin 10, all these are anti-inflammatory cytokines. They also help in termination of acute inflammation. Otherwise, along with the microbes destruction, our own tissue might get destroyed. So, acute inflammation should be terminated. Thank you.